Hello and welcome to the next episode of my survival let's play series. This is episode 8. This is going to be a little bit of a here and there episode. I've got lots of stuff. It's kind of like catching up stuff to do. And to start with, we're going to make a chicken pen. If I can find where I put all my eggs. Here we go. Because I have a chicken farm, which gets me loads of eggs. And technically I have a pen above ground, but I don't have one below ground. Best way to do this is just to do that. So obviously I can't have just one chicken pen. We have a chicken pen. I don't have any fence gates or carpets. I mean, even if I had carpets I wouldn't be able to get over, but it's fine, it's fine. We just have a pen full of chickens, and I'm sure the sound of them will not drive me crazy at all. I don't really have like a clear food source. I have golden carrots that I can get from the villagers, but at least this I can just brutally murder them without having to worry about leaving some. I don't have to breed them because I just have infinite eggs kind of thing. There we go. Now I have a bunch of tiny babies. Yay. It's fine. When they all grow up I can then brutally murder them. Like the normal person I am. Completely normal. Another thing I want to do up here is change the walls, because the walls are deep slate, but everywhere else the walls are tough. So that's a thing I want to do actually. Will this be enough tough? I don't know how much tough I'll need. Really, I should have been doing this before I put the chickens in, so it might be the chicken area stays deep slate for now. I should have thought about that, but I didn't. Another thing I should have thought about was the fact that the top and the bottom are slabs rather than full blocks to save the tough. There you go, because you can only see that amount. So now I've basically got to do that all the way around. Lovely. Gonna have so much fun. To be honest, I'm not worried about this room being half deep slate, half tough. Because it felt weird to have this one wall being tough and the rest of it being deep slate, but I can't be bothered to change those to tough. And no one comes on up here anyway, because it's just a spawning platform for slime, so I'm gonna pretend like nothing is wrong. And I'm gonna need a lot more tough. There we go. I've now finished the walls up here, so I've now finished changing them to tough. If we ignore the chicken coop for a minute, we're ignoring it because I have tiny children in there. They're not old enough to be slaughtered yet. I do need to put proper lighting up here. I'm going with torches as like a temporary thing because I don't know exactly what's gonna go up here. Currently I've got a chicken pen and the bone meal input for my moss farm, and that's it. I was thinking about having a super smelter, so the input would be up here. You know, I've got ideas that could possibly come up here, and I don't know if I'm going to do any of them today. We'll find out. I'm collecting moss, specifically the little azalea trees and the moss blocks. So what I do with those, let me just empty out my inventory. Got a spider and some arrows. Cool. Anyway. What I do, or what I've done, is put a layer of moss and then a layer of trees. None of them have grown. I'm starting to think they don't grow automatically, so that's fine. I've been bone mealing them, so I get the trees and then I chop them down. And basically I've been using this to farm oak logs and rooted dirt. But the rest of it I don't really care. For the leaves, I'm not doing anything with the leaves right now, so it doesn't matter whether I collect them or not. I mean, I could, not right now, but I could. Just kind of do that a lot and just scoop it all up. And then Was that skeleton always there? Or am I tripping? Hey. Okay. Then we come back down here with my wonderful haul of 7 rooted dirt. This is totally worth the effort I'm going through right now. It's amazing. Just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. I'm trying to have even number of the azalea and flowering azalea, and so far the flowering azalea seems to spawn a lot less. So we grab wonderful rooted dirt, and then we hoe it to get rid of the roots. And then you grab the thing that I don't have, called a water bottle, and you make the dirt soggy. So now you have roots and soggy mud, and you can put the roots in your composter, along with the extra azaleas. Yeah, all of this stuff I'm not using from the moss farm. I'm not using any of it. I'm just pathetically attempting to grab it, and then I just put it in my composter. A creeper and a skeleton just died. I don't know if they dropped anything. I think the system to sort stuff for this one in particular is super slow. So it goes down, it has to go in like a little item elevator kind of thing, so it goes up and around. So, it's 4. I don't know what that one was at. Yeah, it does work. That does work. I know it works. It just... something else just died. 6. There you go. It works. Particularly efficiently, but it works. I've got a stack of flowering azalea in here, because I decided to keep a stack of everything that comes out the moss farm. But I grab everything from here and shove it in my composters. Like, if it's not flowering azalea, it's going in the composter. I'm thinking I might need to come up with a giant composting machine rather than just those 2 little composters. Imagine a super smelter, but for composters instead. You know? Thinking about that might be a thing I make. On this wall maybe? It depends. I could make it on this wall rather than a super smelter. The soggy dirt turns into clay. It dries out and becomes clay. Yeah. And then you can make clay blocks, and then you cook those clay blocks to make terracotta. But what would one do with terracotta? No idea. But I now have 17 terracotta, and I didn't have to go to a mesa to get it. And I also walked into a wall instead. The rest of my rooted dirt. Here we go. Rooted dirt. Really, I should keep these in a barrel closer to where I need them. There you go. Barrel. I don't know if I'm ever going to move this. It might be that I move it somewhere and decorate it better. I don't know where I'd move it to though. There we go. So I need 2 of those, and that one. I mean, really, I only need 1 of these. This iron farm works like crazy, by the way. Each of these is an entire row full of iron ingots, by the way. Yeah, and there's more. Every now and then I just pick it up and just turn it into blocks. It slowly adds up. The poppies look less impressive because every now and again I just whack them in my composters. What if I made both? Instead of having to decide which one I put, I got phantom membrane from the cat. The cat got me phantom membrane. Interesting. I don't have an elytra, because that involves going to the end and I haven't done that yet. I don't feel prepared enough to go to the end. I don't even have the Eyes of Ender. It can't be that bad, can it? I think I'm going to put the composter one here, because it only needs to be 1 deep. We also need to test them out. Let's take some of these. See, I was going to test out how well these work. I've got a little bit of fuel in there. This works. I was going to test out how well it worked, you know, have a bit of a demonstration. However, I don't have anything to smelt. Literally nothing at all. So I'm going to go on a mining session and gather resources that I don't need, and then smelt those resources. And I'll have a bunch of stuff I don't need, like iron, copper and gold. Yay! I need coal for torches, but I'm fairly convinced I don't have any coal. So I'm gonna make charcoal. Obvious solution to my problems. Here we go. I have a lot, to be honest. I did some of this off camera, you know, because I was gonna build like a big base. And then I decided that I actually didn't want to do that. So now I have a bunch of wood I don't think I'm ever gonna use. What we can do with this though, is we can put it in here. And now we wait. It stopped here. It's out of fuel. The only one that has fuel is the only one that doesn't have any logs. It works almost perfectly evenly, which is nice. If we'd actually gotten stuff to smelt, it would have been great. But instead I decided to smelt 5 stacks of logs. The point is, it works, you know, it didn't really matter what we smelted. I just wanted to smelt something actually useful, instead of now having 5 stacks of charcoal. Oh well, future me will appreciate it, when I need to make a bunch of torches. The chickens I put in earlier in the episode, have they all grown up? Yes, they have. Good. I'm disappointed I don't have a fire aspect sword or a flame bow. I have 23 chicken. I finished the storage room. Now this area looks way cleaner. And I have a large storage room. Got loads of chests. Almost an entire double chest full of deep slate, plus more variants. I have a lot of deep slate. I don't have a lot of tuff, which is unfortunate, given I build the walls out of tuff. I have a large amount of gravel, honestly a lot more than I thought I had. So these represent everything down here is related to wood, and everything here is related to ores. Well, ores and kind of this stuff. And then everything going down is gravel. But if I put a item frame, say here, everything going down up until that point is gravel, so this wouldn't be gravel. It would be whatever I put in the item frame. And then all of this is just tuff. This is empty, this is in case my deep slate overfills. These farms look a bit nicer, a little bit less of an eyesore. I'm not 100% convinced on the jungle one, which is slightly annoying given how much time I spent on the materials for that one. I'm not 100% convinced. I think the colours don't necessarily match with anything that's going on over here. So maybe we should do something to that one. I want to change this one anyway because I don't like how it looks. So maybe part of that should be making it in a sort of pinky theme like that to make the jungle look like it fits. Yeah, I still have my enchanting table up here that needs decorating. So we got loads of things to do, and also my nether portal. It's kind of off in the corner. It's kind of awkward where it's placed because you have to come back here, so it may be moved when I decorate it. thank you guys so much for watching this episode of my survival Let's Play series. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!